ladies and gentlemen of the Fourth Estate, good morning.
Good morning.
I echo Karimi's comments about thanking you for supporting us at this event. And I'd like to start with the news. I'm very pleased to announce that today Paynet and Interswitch have agreed that we'll merge Paynet into Interswitch. Growth is the key driver for this transaction. The market, as you know, in Kenya, in fact, in the last 6 months, has developed very rapidly. And what we're seeing emerge are niche areas where specific products and services are required. It's clear that the best way to do this is to try and find people who've done it before, to look for people who've actually got experience in these areas, and particularly in the specific requirements of an emerging market, and ideally an emerging market in Africa. And indeed, it seemed to us that as we look to the next steps in our growth as Paynet, that an equity relationship made good sense because, as I said, of the drive towards larger scale. The concept of an integrated payments company that services both East and West was highly attractive to us. And so the nature of that transaction is thus, that Interswitch will take a majority share in the Paynet group, but all the existing shareholders in the Paynet group will take shares in Interswitch. It's another step in the journey, and I'm very pleased to be driving that step in the journey. So that's the structure and nature of the transaction. Let me then just talk a little bit about the future. I'll bring that word up again, growth. The future for us is about growth. It's about how to grow from where we are, both in terms of the ranges of services that we offer into the markets that we operate in, the strength in the various markets we operate in, and then the number of markets that we operate in. We'll work very hard with Mitchell and his team to leverage the absolute most out of this transaction. Over time, I know that we will rebrand the Paynet group into Interswitch because it makes sense. If we're going to be a seamless trans-African organization dealing with customers East and West together, it makes sense to look the same to them. And we're very comfortable with that and confident that it's the right direction for us. It now gives me pleasure to introduce to you the Chief Executive of Interswitch, Mitchell Elegli. Thank you very much.
The Chief Executive of the Paynet Group, Bernard Matthewman, management and staff of Paynet and Interswitch, ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to be here today to announce our new partnership with the Paynet Group. This is a great business with a great opportunity to help us boost our presence in East Africa, and I'm very much excited about this news. I'd just like to share with you 3 perspectives about why we think this interaction with the Paynet Group is a very good one from our point of view. But first, let me talk to you briefly about what Interswitch is. Interswitch started in 2002, December 4 to be exact, as a company basically trying to bridge the gap that we saw in our local environment. And since then, we have grown to a staff strength of about 400 in about 3 countries, including Uganda, here in East Africa. Why does this deal with Paynet make a lot of sense to us? First, I think it's the quality of the management team. Some years ago, my colleague here, Charles, had met with Bernard and got to know about the Paynet Group. And the feedback I got from him was that there's this very interesting company in East Africa doing wonderful things. And he thinks that as part of our plans to extend some of our services to East Africa, we should partner with the Paynet Group. And this was some 3 years or so ago. Since then, we've been in touch with the Paynet Group. And what you have seen today is basically the climax of that relationship. There's no doubt in our mind that the quality of the team in Paynet is excellent. When you want to combine your business with some other business, one of the things you look out for is the quality of the management team. At the end of the day, they're basically the ones that run this business. I would think, from what we have seen so far, the Paynet team is a very good team, and it's one that I would like to be associated with. Okay. Second reason is the strength of the business itself. It is not in many places in Africa that you can find an organization that serves about 70 financial institutions. That Paynet has been able to achieve. In Nigeria, we have just about 40 institutions, and here they have about 70 already. So we think being able to bridge East and West creates a formidable play for both institutions. Now, in terms of commitment, the structure of this deal is such that the owners of the Paynet group still remain in the business, and that is very important for us. It isn't our intention that people who have run a business for many years, who understand the local environment, suddenly decide that they want to combine the business with someone else and they hands off. So it was important for us that for this deal to go on, it was very key that the owners of Paynet Group continue to remain in the business. And like Bernard said, what we have done is basically to give them shares in the Interswitch Group, where they basically work with us to drive the future direction of the business, while at the same time maintaining the independence of the local business in East Africa. I think the timing is right for this. Today in Interswitch, we see a lot of our customers moving across East, West, Southern Africa. And for payment entities like ourselves, we need to bridge that gap. Otherwise, we end up in a situation where we're unable to service most of our customers. Today, we have airlines like Kenya Airways in East Africa flying to West Africa also. They will need payment solutions, and until we're able to bridge the gap between East and West, we may not be able to give them the kind of solutions that they need. In our business in West Africa, the airlines are one of the very biggest customers that we have. Payments being done electronically for the airlines is critical, and they continue to look for solutions that will span across many markets. So coming specific to why we think this partnership is right, I think this is a unique moment in the payments business in Africa, with the strongest players from East and West coming together. This, however, is just a step in the journey. From here, we hope to grow East and the African business together. What we have also said is that Bernard will continue to run the business in East Africa. We also have intentions of combining what we have in Uganda with what we have in Kenya now, perhaps under the leadership of Bernard, to drive the entire region. So I think for us, this is a very good opportunity for us to develop our business. And like Bernard rightly said, this is all about growth. I thank you all, and I thank the management team of Paynet for the confidence they have reposed in us in allowing this deal to go through. Thank you.